everybody. Welcome back to Buck's Beat, episode 123. We're talking some Braves baseball today on the podcast. And we're now in the heat of the summer, and our Braves are struggling to keep our postseason hopes alive. And right now, we're at the halfway point of the season. 10 games back of the Mets in the East. 7 games back in the wild card. And our streak, the Brave streak of 7 consecutive postseason appearances is in big-time jeopardy, folks, as you probably well know. There's some serious issues everywhere you look on this team that we got to get straightened out. And at the top of the list right now is the Chris Sale rib injury, and it's robbed us of our ace for an unknown period of time. When will he be back? Well, right now they're saying he'll be back before the end of the season. End of the season? We need him back now. So that is a big-time concern. I mean, how do we chase down a postseason spot without Chris Sale dominating in the rotation? How do we replace our ace, who has delivered 12 straight starts, allowing 3 runs or less? Talk about dominating. There you go right there. And on an individual note, Sale has been robbed of the opportunity to pitch in front of the hometown fans in the All-Star game. No, he started last year's game, but this is here in Atlanta at Truist Park, and he would have definitely got a chance to pitch in front of the hometown crowd. So we lose our ace, and then the dominoes fall because now the Braves are searching to find a 5th starter to plug into the rotation. Obviously, the kid, just a couple days ago, a teenager, Didier Fuentes, he is not ready. Not ready yet. At AAA, we've got Hurston Waldrop and Ian Anderson, who are not exactly lighting it up. Reynaldo Lopez is not even close to being ready to coming back this season. So the 5th spot in the rotation is suddenly a problem. Add that to Anthopoulos' list of needs entering the trade deadline period. Obviously, the bullpen needs help. Now, it's good to see Dylan Lee stepping up in high-leverage situations. He looks like our closer right now. And another big key is Iglesias appears to be getting back on track. That would help big time. But, you know, it's the lack of offense that really concerns me and bothers me. Just 2 years ago, the Braves had the most productive batting order, the best offense in Major League Baseball. And now, look at us now. Braves are number 22 in runs scored, number 18 in home runs. Braves are 11-19 in one-run games. Braves are struggling with runners in scoring position. That's been well documented, and the problem continues. Number 15 in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position. And the boys at the coffee shop, they're now calling that runners in stranded position. Austin Riley's production is down. Michael Harris is chasing way too much and is now one of the least productive offensive players in Major League Baseball. Ozzie Albies suffering through his worst season of his career. So much weak contact out of Ozzie. Too many easy outs. Ozzie is below the Mendoza line in June, hitting just 195. The bottom of the batting order is weak. Let's be real here. The Braves are going to make a postseason run. This has got to change. The lack of production at 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order is just totally embarrassing. Verdugo, Harris, and Nick Allen are hitting a combined 232. Those 3 are projected to score less than 45 runs each. And that's below the standard of any postseason Major League Baseball team. Maybe Jurickson Profar's return can provide some life to the bottom of the order. We'll see about that. I'll tell you what, he owes us that, having been suspended for all these games. This Braves team is playing better collectively. It's made me feel a little bit better. It's a little easier to watch the games now. They're playing more of a team baseball. Rotation is doing a pretty good job. You got the bullpen is doing a pretty good job offensively. We've stepped it up a little bit. So we've gone from losing 14 of 17 to now winning 10 of 16. And in the middle of the stretch of 13 straight games against National League East competition, we're sitting at 6-4 during that stretch right now as we take on the Phillies in a 3-game series and get this 9-game homestand underway. We've got 15 games remaining before the All-Star break. If we can go 11-4, Braves are going to be 48-47 at the break, which would be huge entering the so-called second half of the season. By the way, voting for the 95th Major League Baseball All-Star Game here in Atlanta continues. Wanted to bring this up and talk a little Ronald Acuña Jr. Phase 1 of the fan voting is now complete. Phase 2 gets underway Monday, believe at high noon, and that will allow fans to select the position starters in both the National League and the American League. Braves country, you've got some work to do. It's time to get to work. Got to get Acuña voted in as a starter for the National League in the outfield. And right now, Ronnie is number 4 in voting among the National League outfielders. He deserves to start this game. So it's time to get out and vote for Acuña. And if you need some extra motivation, here it is. We've got the All-Star Game here at Truist Park in Atlanta. Do you want no Braves player in the starting lineup? Because that's the road we're heading down if you don't step up and start voting for Ronald Acuña Jr. Chris Sale is out injured. Austin Riley, 6th in the National League, voting at third base. Matt Olson, 7th in the National League, voting at first base. Ozuna is 6th in the National League, voting for the DH. Look, our only hope is Ronald Acuña Jr. So I want to implore you to stuff the ballot box for Acuña, and starting Monday, go to MLB.com and start voting for Ronnie. More big news. Acuña, the first player to commit to the All-Star Home Run Derby, which is great. I think it's great. This will be the 3rd time competing in the Home Run Derby for Acuña, who says the goal is to win the Home Run Derby. You go, man. The goal is to put on a good show for the hometown fans. Thank you, Ronald. Appreciate you thinking about us. Now, I know my colleague, Chris Domino, is a little bit concerned about Acuña being in the Home Run Derby. There's a curse associated with participating in the Home Run Derby. The curse is if you compete, you're going to have a bad second half of the season. And I, doing a little research, I saw that there was a case study in 2023 that showed 58% of the Home Run Derby participants drop off in production in the second half of the season. An example, Juan Soto hit .231 in the second half after his Home Run Derby victory. Heck, Aaron Judge won in 2017. And he's avoided every Home Run Derby since. The two concerns, the first is it's going to take so much out of you being in the Home Run Derby. You're going to swing the bat so much. There's going to be fatigue that sets in. That's one concern. The other one is the concern about the player falling into a bad habit of being pull heavy, being in that pull heavy mindset. I say relax. Acuña has already missed out on a big chunk of the season. Fatigue shouldn't be an issue for Ronald. And as far as that pull-heavy mindset goes, Acuña has just done a great job with his approach at the plate so far this season. He's not chasing. He's taking walks. He's using the entire field. If you pitch him middle away, he's going to take it opposite field. I just love his approach right now. So I'm not concerned. And Domino and anybody else, you shouldn't be concerned either. Acuña's going to be just fine. I'm excited to see him put on a world-class show. For us Braves fans and Major League Baseball fans, put on a show that we're not going to soon forget. And look, if the truth be told, the Braves fan base, we need a little bit of a lift after a tough, frustrating first half of the season. Acuña, he's been in 2 home run derbies. This will be his 3rd, as I mentioned. And Pete Alonso has eliminated Ronald in both of those 2 home run derbies. And both times, both in 2019 and in 2022, Alonso defeated Acuña 20-19. In 2022, that was a round 1 matchup. And in 2019, in the semifinals, that also was a 20-19 victory for Alonso. So just hoping maybe that Acuña's going to face off and knock Alonso out of the home run derby, turn the tables on him. Got a new format that they implemented last year. So really excited about Acuña being in the home run derby with the All-Star game here in Atlanta. Going to wrap it up with this. All right, for the Braves to make the postseason, 5 things have got to happen. Number 1, our ace Chris Sale has got to be back sooner than later. Can't be he's going to be back by the end of the season. We're going to need him back before then with those 2 cracked ribs. Number 2, Albies and Harris. They got to get it going, man. They got to recover from this atrocious first half of the season that they've had. Number 3, Austin Riley has got to rediscover this power stroke that has been missing here in the first half of the season. And I'm confident he's going to be able. He's shown some signs of getting that power stroke back here in the last couple of weeks. And then number 4, Anthopoulos has got to acquire some bullpen arms at the trade deadline. And then finally, the Mets, the Phillies, the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Reds, and the Diamondbacks, they've all got to trend down. Those are teams that we're chasing right now. And we need a little help. We need those teams to trend down a little bit here in the second half of the season to keep this postseason streak alive. We've been in the postseason 7 years in a row, and this Braves team is out to make it 8. That's going to do it for the podcast today. We'll be back next week for 2 more podcasts. Be talking about early next week about one of the most important players on the Georgia Bulldog team. He's on the defense. We'll break that down early next week. And remember now, when the Braves don't play at 7, Buck Belue Show on 680 The Fan from 6 to 8, and then on Saturdays from 9 to noon. It's going to do it for this podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.